journalist and editors, having been the online style editor of the International Herald Tribune and extensive writing for the New York Times, Italian Vogue, Vogue Japan, Harper's Bazaar Brazil, and Elite Traveler magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Jessica Michaud.
D'avoir autant de créateurs dans une seule endroit, surtout haute couture, c'est assez exceptionnel.
Special. In France, as you know, we keep the appellation controlled for decades and decades, and it comes from an election from the board. which means that the designers who are at this table have been sponsored by a major couturier, part of the committee, and elected by the board. So it gives them a specificity that no other designers can have. The major couturiers select their successors, and then since more than a century, and so we are in the 21st century, so we travel a little.
Wonderful. Let's go to our first prepared question, and I actually want to direct this question, starting off to you, Christophe Josse. We're talking about who the designers are thinking of now when they create their collections. Are they consciously adapting their designs to the growing influence of Asian designers? And the reason I'm directing this to you is because I know you recently went to Bangkok and had the task of designing some couture designs with silk from that region, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what that was like.
Excusez de m'exprimer en français, je crois que ce sera plus logique. Moi je crois qu'aujourd'hui, on parle beaucoup de mondialisation et que j'ai énormément de mal à imaginer pourquoi une cliente singapourienne appréhenderait la couture différemment d'une cliente parisienne, par exemple. Donc je crois que j'ai pas envie, quand je pense à une collection de couture, quand je la réfléchis, j'essaie de mettre en place, de segmenter comme ça par secteur géographique ma perception de tout ça, des clients potentiels. Je crois qu'elles n'ont pas envie qu'on les perçoive comme cela. Et je crois que c'est peut-être aussi une façon de les percevoir un peu caricaturales et qui ne correspondent pas à la réalité. Et j'ai pas envie la collection que je pense pour le mois de janvier prochain m'enfermer dans ce genre de perception.
Going off of that question, I wanted to ask you, Gustavo, is the idea, do you feel that you need to understand the cultures of Asia or to be more successful in the future or emerging markets, do you need to understand their cultures fundamentally, not just to go and visit, to go and see, and not just do, cover, okay, we're going to do dragons or something like that, that it's a bit more deeper research?
Indeed, I was born in the other side of the planet in Brazil, and that market is totally different than this Asian market. What I think, and I'm convinced that haute couture is more than nice dresses. It's a way of thinking, and we are connected to every kind of culture, economy, politics, and you understand that the economical geography of the world is changing now. And you in Asia, you are in the best place because ourselves in South America, we're a little bit displaced from this axis connecting North America and Asia. What I think doing and exerting my profession in Paris in haute couture gives to me a spread out vision of the world. I'm obliged to speak 5 foreign languages at the same time because I work in Spain, in Italy, French, Brazil, and even in English sometimes. And as well, I must know about history to understand how to adapt my sensitivity and my design to what's happening now. And haute couture gives to us an immediate response because all the savoir-faire, the know-how, they can have them beside us in Paris. And it's a global activity, but it's made locally. It's very specific in haute couture, more than a ready-to-wear industry. I don't know if I answered your question because I took a derivation of the subject, but Monsieur Grandbach talked some minutes before about the existence of haute couture. I do believe it will last for a long time.
Going on, I wanted to ask for Maritza Galante. We talked about, Mr. Josse was mentioning this, and he thought that you design what you love and the clients will follow, pretty much was the gist of what he was saying. Do you think that the Asian clientele is looking for something different from the West? I know that for your collection here, you created 15 new pieces.
la vision surtout chaque client regarde. L'autre couture, elle représente la culture d'un pays qui fait les pays comme la France, elle représente sa mémoire. Et je pense que quand je viens ici, j'emmène avec moi et je transporte avec moi qu'est-ce que c'est ma vision. Là, bien sûr, j'adore l'Asie, je ramène à Paris des choses que j'adore et après je les ramène ici comme ma vision. Ben, les clients, ils ne sont pas tout à fait les mêmes. Les clients que vous pouvez trouver à New York, ils ne sont pas les mêmes ici, ils ne sont pas les mêmes au Japon. Hier soir, on avait une soirée et les personnes ne s'étaient pas habillées comme on s'habille à Paris. Alors, les codes, ils sont complètement différents. C'est très, très intéressant.
Alexis, there's really been, of course, a growing prominence of the Asian culture market. I know that you were here last year and that you came away with investors, Asian investors that you ran. I wanted to know what that collaboration has been like for you, working so closely with investors, and I know you do have clients within the region. What's that been like?
For us, it's a question of development, and when we start 6 years ago now, and from the ready-to-wear we went to couture, and step by step we got bigger, and we got people with us to develop the company, and so traveling everywhere in the world was very important in terms of connection, and Asia was very important for me from the beginning, even in Japan, in China, now in Singapore, in terms of relationship and even of development and curiosity about what could be the future, because people here are very exciting about doing strong things, and this is really good. But after, in terms of creativity, I think I'm a bit more egoistic in the way to work. I'm more about like, okay, we are doing things every season to make people having crush with dresses or clothes, because it's all about that at least. So after if the client is from here or from everywhere in the world, you know, everyone finds this connection with our French culture and what we want to express in terms of design.
Well, just come on then before we go to the next client question. I know I was talking with the design team from Haute Couture about they recently just came from Dubai, and we're showing their collection there. And I wanted you to speak a little bit about that, because apparently there was a little disconnect between the local clientele and what a number of different designers had brought to Dubai over the years.
Okay, I speak English is better. Actually, it's very special because we present there. We can see exactly how is the reaction, because we haven't time to say, but we know this client, and for our fashion, especially for our fashion, in Paris we are a little bit too much, and in Asia and also in Middle East, our fashion is really very appreciated. So the client, we are obliged to go there. We cannot stay just in Paris to show couture, because it's some of the clients cannot come, and we are obliged to show. So, for example, we were not only in Abu Dhabi. Immediately after that, we go to Geneva. So we show for 3 days the collection in 3 places, and it's very, very important to go to show, because it's the French clients have this occasion to wear so much couture, and I think that now more and more the couture can be appreciated in this country, because they are more and more rich people, and more the education of the couture take place there. Maybe Yasin can continue.
What I think is that today we cannot just stay in one place, and as everything goes global, we think that our job also is to show to people what is the know-how that is coming from Paris. And just before we make a very huge exposition in Monaco, in the National Museum, and also make a ballet. And this is maybe our way, because we are a little bit unusual couture house, to show to the people what we can do in Paris, and what is this know-how that the people maybe don't know, or they imagine a little, but are not in real touch And the idea is also that the designers need to move, not just stay in their offices in Paris and say, okay, I'm doing very beautiful things.
So the idea, the past history of a haute couture client flying 3 times to Paris.
I think that the designers need to move now.
Julian, I know that we were talking that you'd come over to do a press conference here and that you've been very inspired, and the collection you're going to be showing here was very much inspired by your last visit here. Would you agree with what they're saying, that now the future of haute couture is that the haute couture client, the ultimate luxury is that you have the designer coming to you in your own home or your own region of the world? Is that the future of haute couture, this déplacement of the collection around the world?
En fait, moi je pense que c'est une histoire de sharing something, comme on dit, de transmettre de l'émotion. Et alors cette émotion se transmettre via des collections, via des défilés, via des petites notes de temps en temps qui s'envolent au bout du monde pour une princesse, une cliente incroyable. Mais en fait, quand vous parliez de se dire si on doit adapter ou pas nos collections, je crois qu'en fait, on propose un orthographe d'émotion. Après, soit la cliente adhère ou pas, mais c'est une histoire de soit elle va emprunter l'univers d'un créatif, soit elle ira voir un autre. C'est ça, c'est une bonne nouvelle.
Let's move on to the next prepared question. How can Asian haute couture designers adapt their work to reach a wider audience and clientele? And Dr. Onima, I was wondering if you could address this idea. Is there a way to make it more approachable to maybe a Western aesthetic?
I don't like to specifically answer the question, but from education point of view, the haute couture designer is probably the origin of the design in regions. And of course, the origin is one of it's from Europe, and then definitely the France is one of the origin of the haute couture design business. And then right now, I think the whole world of globalization, it is a step of the westernization globally will expand. And haute couture definitely need a good city environment, maybe like Tokyo, Paris, London, New York, and of course Singapore. You need to have a good city environment that the human can wear for natural selection. They can enjoy beauty. Every morning you look at the mirror, and then thinking about the fashion. So those environments needed, but not whole world there yet. So that right now it's fast fashion there because there is a economic gap between the developing countries and industrialized countries. So that will happen. But in some future, it's a elite education dream maybe, that this whole world, it's like Singapore, Tokyo, or everyone else in this world can enjoy fashion. And then those times come, and then I think the identity will come from the couture design that each region has, which is probably based on the sense of beauty that comes from the nature that each region has, or the heritage or the philosophy that's created by the nature that each region has. So those are the things that if you look at the future of education, to create a couture design, that is very important things to put it in as a philosophy or the ethics or the things for social value of the future.
That's a great answer. You actually almost answered the next question that we had prepared, which was about, we were talking about the Asian designers, the boutique basique, do they have the skill and the savoir-faire to do haute couture, but clearly that's what you're moving towards with your school, is to give them the understanding and the knowledge to be able to create at the level of haute couture in Paris. Let's then move on to the next question. This one directed to Susie Mann, because there are a number of invited fashion houses from outside France, like Armani, Valentino, that show during the couture. I was just wondering if you could envision more Asian brands on the official calendar, or what do you think needs to happen to make to broaden maybe the couture calendar to embrace more of the Eastern aesthetic? Are you hearing her?
Yes.
Put that there.
Any better? So I think Didier Gourbac and his team have been very welcoming and open, much more so, for example, Milan, where it's been very difficult for foreign designers to implant themselves in a good position on the calendar. So already it's open. But the thing is, how far it's stages of development certain designers are. Quite a number of designers have come from Asia who've had a tremendous success and continue to have in their own countries. And that obviously makes the most sense, because to try and fund yourself to go and show in Europe is a tremendously expensive thing to do. But I think we have to look at the time frame here. At the moment, when I go to St. Martin's School in London, a famous school that's taught so many of the great designers, or even when I go to San Francisco, to the Academy of Arts there, I see so many Asian wannabe designers. Have you got a bus here? Right. I see so many, well, not so much wannabe designers, but growing designers. These are the people, I think, who see themselves after their experience of being educated in fashion in the West, and then mostly, I think, will return to their homelands and be able to grow their businesses. And then when they come back, it won't be such a big deal. They will understand the culture of the country they're going back to. They'll already have made many contacts there. So that's how I envisage things growing.
Yes, sure.
Just to go back to the previous question and to drop Susan Mackey's what she's saying, as a consumer who travels a lot, the last thing that I would ever want from Asian designers is for them to think they have to design like North American designers or European designers. Already, if you look at chemical things, no matter where you go in the world, you will find a Louis Vuitton store, you'll find a Gucci store, you'll find very much the same products in Mongolia that you'll find in Milan. And I find that is just very unfortunate. As a consumer, if I go halfway around the world, it is not to buy a brand that I can buy at home. I want to bring back something that represents that culture, something that's special, something that I will remember. And the last thing I want is something that will look like something that I can get anywhere, in my home. I know, I find it unfortunate. I am not a consumer client. I'm an enthusiastic consumer of fashion, but unfortunately I don't have the lifestyle or the means to indulge in couture. However, I do think that just because someone can indulge in it, doesn't mean it doesn't have a relevance. And unfortunately for me, couture has been reduced to a spectacle. It's been reduced to by certain very big brands as a form of publicity from which they can then sort of offer us all kinds of products at every price range. I understand they need to do that to survive, but I think that couture is better than that, and I think it should, if it's going to be relevant to either North American, European clients or Asian clients, then I think that it needs to get back to its roots, which is to be an incubator of ideas for the rest of the industry. Too often I find that if it's a spectacle, then it gets reduced to this sort of trivial activity that's reserved for only the very, very wealthy in the world. I think that couture to survive long term has to go back to its roots. It has to regain its footing, and it has to establish its relevance for all consumers of fashion.
Let's ask actually Yi Qiying, who's one of the youngest couture designers, who's showing on the calendar, and you're also the first from Chinese descent to show on the calendar. Just about this, because this is a platform that when we're talking about ready-to-wear, there are 10 shows a day, 12 days a week, and not the 12, it feels like 12 days a week, but every day, nonstop for 12 days, consistent, one right after the other. I'm wondering if the fact that you do haute couture is a way for you to separate yourself from the pack, to show, because I also understand you don't do ready-to-wear, you don't have accessories, it is pure couture. Could you just talk about that a bit?
Actually, I do have ready-to-wear.
Oh, great.
But I started the other way around. I started buying couture because to me, having the opportunity to show during the couture week in France gives me a real platform for experimentation and creative freedom. This is the first point, which is very dear to me, because with that I have the time to start create a language that is my own.
build a strong image, and then from the couture collection, I would work on diluting the looks and the story, the essence, into products that are sold as ready-to-wear. Can you repeat the second part of the question?
No, I was just wondering if you were talking about it being a platform for a young designer as opposed to the ready-to-wear, and how that would make it easier for you to maybe have exposure, which is
that is true, because as a young designer, there's not so many shows during the couture week, whereas in ready-to-wear, when you start, you are just drawn in a number of shows of brands that are more renowned than yourself, as more means to communicate more money, better PRs or such. So it really, to me, it was an opportunity to gain a lot of support from the press and from the first show. So yeah, that was really a great opportunity.
Alexi, I'm wondering, because when I was at Suzy Menkes' luxury conference, the IT luxury conference in Rome, Jean-Paul Gaultier spoke to Haute Couture, and he said, you can't survive on Haute Couture alone. Is that true? I know that you also have an accessories line and the ready-to-wear. Can you survive on Haute Couture?
I think so. For us, we started with the ready-to-wear, so we didn't start with couture. But actually, we came with couture by the clientele. Because we were showing our ready-to-wear during couture, because Didier allowed us to do that at the beginning. Step by step, we had clients coming, but they were a bit afraid about getting the same ideas at Colette, watch about for an evening dress or just a daily piece. So step by step, we decided to separate the couture to the ready-to-wear, to be very clean with the clients. And after, what is very important too, that we didn't speak since the beginning, is the craftsmanship. And people who buy couture are people who are interested, of course, in its design and creation, but we are speaking too about artisan craftsmanship that you can't use in ready-to-wear because it would be too expensive. But it's not just crazy pieces or show pieces. Of course, we are showing during the shows something very extreme to express what we want and what we can do or where we can go in terms of capacity. But after, the reality is that even with 10,000 euro, more normal clients and princess can buy a beautiful jacket of. But what is interesting is that the liner will be a special silk, you will have like 2 layers of on side, the color will be in a special way to move perfectly, and I think this is part of couture, it's kind of surgery for a lot of clients. You come because you have complex, you want to be happy with yourself, to be confident with your body, and you want to add some creation with that, but you